Welcome back to One Guy, One Course, One Disc. We are here today, I believe in Covington, Georgia. I'm not sure exactly what city it's in, but it's Spring Hill Park. It's a new course. I think it's like 4 weeks old. So they've really just put it in. Unfortunately, I forgot my tripod, so you're gonna have to deal with low angles for the actual disc portion of this video, so I'm sorry for that. But let's go take a look at the course. Hole 1 is a 223-foot par 3 that's going to go downhill 4 feet. You're going to need a slight right turn on your shot, but once you finish hole 1, hole 2 is going to be to your left out of the woods, then you can go right down the asphalt walkway. Hole 2 is a 296-foot par 3. It's going to go downhill 10 feet. You're going to need something to turn to the left off the tee shot, and then it's going to need to finish right to get close to the basket. But once you finish hole number 2, hole 3 is going to be to your right. The first tee pad you're going to come up to is the short pad, so to get to the long pad, you're going to have to go around the corner to the right. Hole 3 is a 431-foot par 4 that's going to go uphill 10 feet. It's fairly straight all the way to the basket, with the 10 feet uphill being right here at the end as we go up this dirt path. And once you finish hole number 3, hole 4 is going to be to your left. When you get to the asphalt walkway, you're going to go to the right. Hole 4 is a 225-foot par 3 that goes uphill 1 foot. You're going to need something that's going to turn to the left and then finish to the right. But once you finish hole number 4, hole 5 is going to be behind you to the left, and then you're going to go to the right to get to the asphalt walkway, and then you're going to go to the right down the asphalt walkway. Hole 5 is a 346-foot par 3 that's going to go downhill 40 feet. It's a straight tunnel shot down this hillside. But once you finish hole number 5, hole 6 is going to be to your left. Hole 6 is a 423-foot par 4 that's going to go uphill 37 feet. You go straight for about 133 feet, and then it's going to start to gradually turn to the right the rest of the way to the basket. But once you finish hole number 6, hole number 7 is going to be to your left, and then as you come to the asphalt walkway, you should see the tee pad on your right. Hole 7 is a 387-foot par 3 that's going to go downhill 29 feet. It's going to be about 314 feet that you need to go straight, and then you're going to want to finish right. But once you finish hole number 7, hole number 8 is going to be to your left. Hole 8 is a 549-foot par 4 that's going to go downhill 9 feet. It's 77 feet to get to this gap, which is about 10 feet wide. And then we go out into what feels kind of like a World War I battlefield. Lots of divots and trenches you need to look out for as you go down this fairway. The trees are kind of sporadic with no ideal lines, so you just kind of have to find a gap and go for it. But the basket is all the way on the other side of this field, right in front of the tree line. And once you finish hole number 8, hole 9 is going to be to your left and then right through the tree line. Hole 9 is a 234-foot par 3 that goes uphill 18 feet. It's pretty much a straight shot with a left finish. But once you finish hole number 9, hole 10 is going to be to your right. Hole 10 is a 377-foot par 3 that's going to go downhill 12 feet. It's a straight corridor all the way down to the basket, so just pick something that won't finish hard left or right, and you should be fine. But once you finish hole number 10, hole 11 is going to be behind you to the right. Hole 11 is a 199-foot par 3. It's going to go downhill 11 feet. At about 83 feet, it's going to bend to the right. And just another 116 feet to the basket. There is a clump of trees right in front of the basket, so be careful. Once you finish hole 11, hole 12 is behind us to the left. Hole 12 is a 423-foot par 4 that's going to bend to the left. It's about 90 feet to get to that tree right there. And then at about 165 feet, you want to start to turn to the left. And then you're going to start going up this hill. And then past this tree right here, it's going to be about another 149 feet to get to the basket. But once you finish hole number 12, hole 13 will be straight ahead of you a little to the right. Hole 13 is a 265-foot par 3 that's going to go uphill 20 feet. It's going to be about 172 feet to get to the top of the hill before it flattens out. Then it's another 93 feet to the basket. But once you finish hole 13, hole 14 will be straight ahead of us through the woods. You're going to go to the right, and you'll find hole 14 by hole 1's tee pad. Hole 14 is a 484-foot par 4 that's going to go downhill 7 feet. It's going to be about 230 feet before you want to start to turn to the left. And then it's going to be about another 250 feet to the basket. But once you finish hole 14, hole 15 is going to be to the right, and then you're going to go left down 15's fairway. Hole 15 is a 200-foot par 3. It's going to go downhill 7 feet. You're going to go about 149 feet, and then the fairway just drops off, and then from where it starts to drop off, it's about 51 feet to the basket. Once you finish hole 15, hole 16 is going to be to your left. Hole 16 is a 361-foot par 3 that's going to go downhill 54 feet. Be careful on this tee pad because it does have a very steep drop off on the front of it, so if you do miss the front of the tee pad with your plant foot, it's going to be very painful. But it's going to be 236 feet to get to this tree that's right in front of us, and then it's another 125 feet to the basket, but it is in the woods tucked away behind a lot of trees, so you kind of just got to get lucky. But once you finish hole 16, hole 17 is going to be to your right. Hole 17 is a 221-foot par 3 that's going to go uphill 30 feet. It's going to be about 155 feet to get to these trees here in the middle of the fairway. Then it's just another 66 feet to the basket from there. But once you finish hole 17, hole 18 is going to be to your left. Hole 18 is a short par 4 coming in at 389 feet. But what it lacks in long distance, it makes up for in incline because it goes uphill 41 feet. So it's going to take 2 good throws to get it to the basket. It's about 181 feet to this point right here, and then just another 208 feet to the basket. But once you finish hole 18, you'll find the parking lot straight ahead of you. Now that you've seen the course, let's take a look at today's disc. It's going to be the Discraft Nuke. It's a 13.5 -1.3. So let's see how it flies. Oh. Well, just lost my disc. It's hole 4. Somewhere on the right side there's a yellow nuke. So share the disc glove. If you find it, you can keep it. But I was told that this is a pretty wooded course. So I did bring a second nuke because I was afraid I was going to lose it, or at least lose one. So we're going to keep going and hopefully I don't lose the second one. But if I do, once again, share the disc glove. If you find it, you can keep it. was dumb. Get out of it. So there you have the Discraft Nuke at Spring Hill Park. Sorry, it's really hot today. The last couple holes are pretty hilly. As far as the Nuke goes, beginners, just cross it off your list. It's a very overstable disc, especially on a course like this where you want something straight. That just wasn't working today, but in general it's just a very overstable disc, so I wouldn't recommend it if you're just getting started. Even if you've been playing for a year or two, really, unless you have the arm speed, it's just going to be basically a hyzering out disc. As far as Spring Hill goes, as I said, it's a new course. I want to say 3-4 weeks old, so it's still very the fairways are still very grown in somewhat. The rough is very thick, so definitely you want something that's going to go straight, that's not going to finish hard, because if you get into the rough, you're going to be at least one stroke, probably maybe even 2 strokes. You're going to have to add to your score just to finish the hole out, so definitely watch out for that. The terrain is still pretty rough with tree stumps and twigs and branches and whatnot, so it has potential to be a great course. The navigation is also horrible, so you're definitely going to need U-disc, but there is potential here. Definitely come check it out. But once again, make sure you bring something straight or you're going to have a miserable day. But until next time, off to the next course.